And we are back with the second ethics conduct video that I wanted to make today. Um, Going back to the grimoire for the Apprentice Wizard, Oberon Zell's next little section was called Tribal Values. And I thought this was also worth talking about. So here we go. Outside the boundaries of civilization and empire, the people of the country have always lived in clans, tribes, and villages, as many traditional people still do today. Other tribal peoples, such as the Gypsies and the diasporic Jews, have been displaced from their homelands by conquerors and scattered amongst other nations where they live as guest peoples. What has held all such tribes together has been shared values that cannot be stolen away or overthrown. These values are passed down in myths, legends, and fairy tales. They are not based on beliefs, as religions are, but based upon customs and traditions, which promote social cohesion. There are several such values that appear to be universal amongst tribal peoples, which are well worth remembering and holding on to. Some of these are honor, keeping your word; loyalty, faithfulness in defense and support of your own; integrity, walking your talk; honesty, not lying, cheating, or stealing; respect, courtesy, consideration of others; fairness, being just and impartial to all; gratitude, thankful appreciation; hospitality, courtesy to guests and hosts; generosity, willing to give and share; reverence, honoring that which is sacred; reciprocity, giving and receiving value for value; responsibility, accepting the consequences of actions; resourcefulness, ability to deal effectively with challenges; and finally, interdependence, cooperation. We're all in this together. Just as the code of chivalry was set as a set of rules for individual heroes and champions, mostly regarding how to treat strangers, tribal values are the expectations of people living together and dealing with each other on a daily basis. You may notice, however, that they are complementary, and there is a good deal of overlap. These values are what your parents are supposed to teach you and what you, in turn, will teach your children. And by living them, we live well. Okay. Now, we talk about wanting a pagan community. Well, for there to be a community, we have to establish a form of tribal values because we would form our own tribe. Okay. And so we have a problem in our community where we are missing some of these values. Loyalty is not there at times. Some of us can not be as very hospitable as we could be. Reverence. There are some people that are so wishy-washy in what they believe and what they think that it's hard to know what they're going to be like from one day to the other. And, these are important. So I'm going to go through them one by one, okay? Honor. That's keeping your word, okay? If you cannot keep your word, how do you expect somebody to trust you, to have faith in you? People need to know that what you say you mean. Okay? You could tell me, oh, kidding aside, you can joke around and all that, but when it's time to be serious, people need to know that, well, he said it, thus that's what he's going to do. It's that simple. Loyalty. We have a problem in our American society where we are part of this instant gratification society, and we are being very polarized. So we only accept people who think just like us. So if there is another pagan that has some different views politically, socially, maybe about one or two laws, whatever, because you disagree, you will shun that person. And this is wrong. A community is a collection of different thoughts and, people. So we cannot have this group of like-minded people. We need those subtle differences to make our community strong. Next is integrity. Walking your talk. We have so many people that say so much crap. This again is where I got to think of that Emily that we've been dealing with. She can't walk her talk. She's constantly changing her mind. This is about spiritual witchcraft, your works, whatever you do. If you say you're going to work on this, do it. If you're going to follow this, then follow it. Don't say one thing and then do a complete opposite. Don't be a hypocrite, basically. Honesty. That's pretty simple, but sometimes honesty is the hardest thing to find in society these days. Respect. There are a great deal of people I respect online. And there are people I know that have some respect for me, but I also have some people that don't have respect for me. We sometimes make mistakes when we're new to this, and I've burnt some bridges. And, all I can do is apologize and, show some respect, and maybe bridges can be fixed. Who knows? But we have to show consideration for others in what they believe and in their differences. And to doing that, we can make a stronger, better community. Fairness. Oh gosh. This is one thing that irks me a lot in society in general. We have so many double standard people out there. Billy will let his friends do things that he will not let strangers do, which is all right in some aspects, but Billy will let his friends break the law and he will turn a blind eye to it, but if strangers break the law, he's right on there. He's going to call the police and all that. This is the double standard. That is not being fair. If you are going to say that this is right and this is wrong, well, then you must enforce those standards upon everybody and not just the strangers. Okay. Gratitude. That is just showing people some general thanks for them helping you out at times. There are some people online that helped me out a great deal when I was first starting off on my path, over 10 years ago. And I am very grateful for those little tidbits of information that they gave me. And I think we have to start showing some gratitude towards the people that help shape our lives. Okay. Hospitality. You know, hospitality is not only about being a good host, it's also being a good guest. We should be warm and welcome to people that come into our lives, and they should be warm and welcome to us when we enter their lives. Be a good host, be a good guest. Generosity. Generosity is about sharing, not just about food and drink, not just money. It's sharing events, stories, information. It's interacting with people openly and honestly. And this is important on building a community. Reverence. Honoring what is sacred. Now, this is about, like I said, this goes beyond spiritual. This is about having reverence for the community, for your fellow pagan, for your fellow witch. You know, people that deserve it should get it. Okay, reciprocity, giving and receiving value for value. It, I mean, it's self-explanatory, but we have people that are very demanding that they get all this great stuff, but are so little in giving it in return. I think that's wrong. Responsibility. Yeah, handle the consequences of your actions, and being responsible for the people around you. If we want this well-rounded community to work together, we have to take responsibility for ourselves and for those who do not know better. Resourcefulness. Okay. I myself get very stressed out at people who don't try. There's a problem and they're throwing their hands in the air. I don't know how to do this. I don't know why, blah, 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 blah. And they storm off and all that. They are a liability. So we need to have more people that can dig a little deeper and find a way to resolve a situation. And it's key that we find those types of people, because they will help us break down so many barriers, build bridges, and become a stronger community. Interdependence, cooperation. Yeah, we have so many loners, and I mean, when we talk about community leadership, we get so defensive, so aggressive. No, that person isn't going to lead me because that person doesn't think like I do. That female over there, she's not going to lead us because she is a Wiccan and we're heathens and this, that. We have no desire to cooperate as a tribe, and so we fall apart. Divided, we fall apart. And that is something we have to change. So, that is something to think about. We want a tribe, we want a community. Well, these are some of the tribal values that have kept so many groups together. And so reflect upon how you act in the pagan community currently and in the past, and think about what changes you need to make this a pagan community that will be stronger, thrive, and be better. So everybody, thank you for listening to what I've had to say. Take care. Be at peace.